a little more stable.
All right, we are back with another radio interview here on Indie Rage Radio, IndieRageRadio.com. We are an independent and unsigned promoting shindig. We're a digital radio station. We're an internationally syndicated radio show. If you want to know more about us, IndieRageRadio.com. Also, if you want to help support our global mission, tinyurl/Diamond CBDMO. And of course, if you're going to a Divided Truth show and you're getting in the pit, you may be a little banged up and you might need some CBD the next morning for that inflammation, so that I help you out. And Diamond CBD, they're from Florida as well. Diamond CBD, look, 50 to 80% off their prices. If you're getting CBD at a gas station or even a store, you are getting gypped off. These guys are on the internet, so they're saving tons of money not having a brick and mortar store. 50 to 80% off, you can't lose. They have vapes. They have candy. They have stuff for your pets. They have actual flour. You got to go check them out. tinyurl.com/DiamondCBDMO. And if you help us out, we sure would appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. Our guest for today is Jerry. Jerry, you ready to get this thing started, brother?
I'm ready, man. Ready when you are.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Indie Rage Radio, IndieRageRadio.com. We are back. We are ready. We got an awesome band with us today. Jerry, the lead vocalist from the Jacksonville, Florida, Duval.
Duval.
I didn't have my effects up.
Duval.
Yeah. Jerry with Divided Truth is here. Jerry, what's up, man?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I am fantastic. Glad to have you on the show. Before we get started, I don't want to miss this opportunity to thank Gigi over at Curtain Call Records for making this happen. Sure do appreciate it.
Gigi's so awesome, man. Her and everybody over at Curtain Call Records are absolutely amazing. They've been stuck with us for a couple of years now. They're great.
We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But first segment, we always play a game, Jerry, because the Rage Nation, they are like crazy. Like they want to snoop into your business.
Oh, okay.
So we want to get to know you a little bit better. So we're going to play a game called Smash or Pass.
Okay.
I don't think it's a smash or pass that you're thinking about.
Okay.
Pretty much, I'm going to give you something, and if you like it, you smash it. And if you don't, you pass it. Simple.
Okay.
All right. So, number 1, espresso, smash or pass?
Pass.
Okay. You like coffee or energy drinks or anything like that?
I love coffee and 5-hour energy. So I love regular coffee.
Yeah. Gotcha. What's your favorite coffee brand?
So my favorite coffee brand has been this. It's one that I just found, and it's called it's like Heroes. I think the name of it's called Heroes, and it's like a charitable coffee, and for how much coffee you buy, they donate to like the veterans cause.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah, and with a lot of my family, and of course being here in Jacksonville, it gives a large military presence. So you're just raised around it. You're raised to appreciate it, and so and their coffee is outstanding. It's really good.
Speaking of coffee companies that gets back to veterans and veteran-owned coffee companies, have you tried Black Rifle yet?
I have. It's really
What'd you
good.
think?
It's good. I like it because my son, he's actually in the Army. He's a warrant officer in the Army.
Nice.
And he's the one that turned me on to it. And when he was in Iraq, they sent a lot of it over there to him. He loved it. Good. Yeah. I just happened to catch the other one. He likes his a little more bold than I like mine.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to go ahead. So
go ahead.
It probably is in stores in Florida, but you can get it online if it's not there. Community Coffee from Louisiana. Okay. Have you ever had Community?
I have not.
Okay. They're a family-owned business from New Orleans, and Community will rock your world. Medium roast.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Medium roast. Okay. I can deal with medium. I like medium and breakfast roast.
So good. All right. So, number 2, smash or pass? Pop punk.
Pop punk.
Yeah.
A smash. Nice. I don't hate on genres, and I like them. So you know,
right on.
I think they all got their place, and I get down with some Blink.
Yeah. So. Look, if I'm walking down the hall and one of our rock stations is playing, I don't know, Green Day, Blink, or maybe some Offspring, I'm stopping every single time and I'm hanging out by the door.
Yeah, so we had a really cool band. I guess I would call them pop punk, is Yellow Card, and they were from around here in Jacksonville. Their old drummer, he's actually around the scene a lot. He hangs out with us quite a bit.
Nice.
LP, yeah, he's really, really, really good. But just super nice guys.
Yeah, anytime you can incorporate a violin into a band and it'd be amazing, you got me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah, that's true.
All right, number 3, smash or pass, flying.
Flying smash.
Oh, really?
I love it. Yeah, absolutely love it. I always try to find the deals to try to get into Comfort Plus or above, because my ADHD kicks in too bad for me to stick around in the back of the plane too long. So I try to get up there, or I try to get to exit row, so I got space.
Right on, right on. Have you ever flew Spirit before?
I will not. I mean, have not.
You know what? I was telling the wife the other day, I was like, man, because I always thought Spirit was cheap, because I mean that's like their MO. And I was like, hey, let's hop on a Spirit. Let's go to Philly. Let's eat a cheesecake and Let's eat a cheesesteak in one day and then come back. I was like, Spirit, it'd probably be $40 there, $40 back. No, bro. No. They get you on everything. And if you want the big seat in the front, they're going to add like $100 to your ticket.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm a Delta guy. I like Delta a lot. That's whenever I have to go, most of my flying, I'll fly from Jacksonville to Atlanta, and of course that's where the hub is. And so I got my Delta Sky Miles are like through the roof.
Nice.
And my wife's a travel nurse, so she flies, and she always tries to fly Delta as well.
Nice.
So I like JetBlue too, though. JetBlue is pretty cool. They're pretty good airline.
Yeah, I tried to look up which airline had the best, I guess, rewards.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who they said. I can't remember if it was United. I can't remember. All right, number 4, vinyl records, smash or pass?
Smash. My daughter's actually big into vinyl. Like she's a massive collector. I have a house that we rent out, and the people left 2 big, huge cases of vinyl, and it's like old vintage vinyl. And one of them was the old Leonard Skinner vinyl with the flames in the back that they discontinued after the plane crash.
Oh, wow.
I found that. Yeah, it was so cool. It was just sitting over there like in this dingy little shed that they completely forgot about. And I was like, man, that's pretty badass to be able to find all that. Yeah, I like vinyl.
Is that record in good condition?
It was okay condition. I had a guy come out because I really didn't know what I had. So I had a vinyl collector come out and just say, look, tell me what all this is. Tell me if it's worth anything. Spin in the shed. So
what did he say?
Oh, he said that one, he was worried about the wax because it was a little bit heat. It gets hot down here in Florida. But he gave me like $50 for the album. He was like, I'll give you $50 for it. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Bring it on.
Nice. All right, let's see here. Number 5, smash or pass, pizza.
Oh, just ate some, smashed, and I smashed it.
What's your go-to toppings?
Man, people are going to hate me for this, dude, but I've really grown an affinity for Hawaiian pizza. That pineapple and that green pepper and that ham and bacon on a pizza. I know it don't sound like it would be good, but it's freaking good. Now, I really like it. And I like to get it from, like Papa John's is pretty good. But we have a place here called like Bees Pizza, which is like a craft pizza, and it's so good.
You know, and that's always one of my follow-up questions, to see if people like pineapple on their pizza, because it's such a scandalous question. But yet, if people ever tried it, and I would imagine most people that say they don't like it have never tried it.
Yeah, because I hated it for 10 years before I tried it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You're like, no, pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. And when you hit it, you're like, maybe it does.
That's it. I'm like, meat lovers are nothing. Everything else sucks. No, pineapple's awesome.
All right, number 6, smash or pass, The Avengers.
Definitely a smash. And I'm an Iron Man guy, like Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, that's who I like. The rest of them, they're pretty cool, but Iron Man seems like to be the guy that I can follow a lot better.
Are you familiar with the DC universe?
A little bit, like Batman and Superman and all that. Yeah.
Who do you think would win between the Avengers and the Justice League if they fought?
Oh man. Well, I think honestly, I think the Justice League is going to win just for simple fact they got Superman, if for nothing else. Just because of nothing else. How do you beat Superman outside of kryptonite? Right? And if you don't have that, I've never seen the Avengers with kryptonite like ever. So without that,
if you're not a cheating mofo like Batman, you know.
Well,
look, Jerry, we must have been separated at birth, bro. You know, forever. You can go back and look at my interviews. People always pick the Avengers. And my follow-up question is, because I'm a Superman mark, the follow-up question is, who in the world is taking care of Superman at the end?
Right. He could beat all of them. Like, just go ahead and get the rest of the Justice League and the Avengers, and Superman's got them all. They just got them all. Batman might come up with some kryptonite, though. You might have to watch it then. But,
well,
you know, I mean, he's rich. He's got that resource. He's got the resource to go get that kryptonite mineral.
And, you know, I don't want to harp too much on this and nerd out, but obviously when people don't answer it like you, Jerry, they haven't seen the movie where Superman was taking care of every single member when he came back to life. He was taking care of every single member, even Wonder Woman.
Right.
And then the Flash, he was faster than the Flash.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the ultimate. He truly is the ultimate superhero. And he only literally has that one weakness. Like, period. Like, period. Yeah, no, I'm a big Superman guy. I like the every now and again my wife will be like, "Who do you think you are?" And I'll be like, "I'm Batman." You know, I'll throw that out there at her.
Well,
like,
Jerry,
no, you're not. Stop it.
Bro, you have no idea what you've done for my heart on this interview.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I'm fulfilled. All right, here we go. Number 7, smash or pass, IPAs.
I definitely pass on the IPAs. I like craft beer, but I'm more of a stout guy. You know what I mean? I like them a little bit heavier. I'm a Guinness guy. I've been over to that Guinness factory. And anytime we're out, I always try to look for their stout. I like the heavier beer. I'm not so much. It just IPAs are a little more perfumey to me. And it's never been my thing. I like a lager or I like a stout.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the India Pale Ales, when they sent them like overseas, they had to make them like extra nasty so that they would make it, so that the beer wouldn't go bad. Ugh.
Yeah, it's just a little perfumey. You know what I mean? So like when you're a little kid and your mom had that perfume with a little ball on it, and then you accidentally got it on your tongue and tasted it. That's what IPAs remind me of.
Yeah. All right, and the finale of smash or pass. Mullets.
Definite, man. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, buddy. That's a smash. That's a smash. Yeah, I got them all out here on the boats.
And look, over here in Louisiana, it's becoming a big thing, especially with young kids. I dropped my daughter off at middle school during the school days.
Yeah.
Dude, every single little boy had a mullet.
Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious, man. It's so funny because I live a little bit outside of Jacksonville, kind of more towards Gainesville, in between Jacksonville and Gainesville. So it's pretty country out here.
Yeah.
And these kids are freaking hilarious. My daughter, she's in high school, and so I go pick her up, and man, those, I'll call them yee-yees, is what she calls them. Those are the yee-yees. And they got the mullets kicking, or now they just look like a big mop on their head with a ball cap on it.
Yeah.
Nowadays. And they peel out and they tear everything all up. But mullets are definitely a big thing. What's funny is when you see guys that I went to school with, and they were so happy when the mullet came back, and I'm like, dude, you don't have the hair that you used to have. You can't do that anymore. But they still did. They didn't care. They were hugging.
Yeah, they got the skullet. They can still rock
skullet.
that.
That's it. They bringing back that Hogan cut.
Yes. Oh, and you even like wrestling, Jerry.
Yeah.
I either have to come to Jacksonville or you have to come to Louisiana. You got to look better you, because you can get a free flight with those Delta points.
That's it. And shoot, we were just in Louisiana out a few months ago in May. Our niece got a wedding out there. We were in Lafayette. That's where they were.
Oh yeah, right down I-10.
Yep.
And what's
that? Where you at? New Orleans?
Lake Charles.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're right by the Texas border.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, man. All right, so the single that you guys are supporting right now just released. It is available on all your streaming platforms. Look, somebody told me on the last interview, people don't purchase music much anymore. Go purchase this song, man.
I know.
Buy this song.
I know. It's just such a weird thing in music anymore. And you really, truly have got to do it because, just because you love doing it and it's artistic expression. And I know that sounds hokey, but probably more now than ever. If you are doing this to get rich or make a ton of money, it's not going to happen. But there is nothing better than just sitting around or being like out on the boat and you hear somebody else cranking one of your songs. I mean, that's really cool. And that's rewarding all in itself. However, these songs are so expensive, like everything else nowadays. The cost of it has gone up so much, just your time, and it takes years. I mean, you can record a song 2 years ago and just release it right now because it just takes so many years to get it produced and make sure it's right, make sure the levels are perfect, and to have the right producers on your record with you. And this song in particular was produced by Damon Starkey, who was the bass player for Puddle of Mud and did things with Shine Down and Burn Season is what he really was from. A really, really talented guy, but they're not cheap. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for those years. You got to pay for that help too, and be willing to accept it, of course, but it's not cheap. So yeah, when people don't buy it, it used to bother me. I'm just so used to it now that it's just cool whenever I get to do this like this with you, or if I get to hear somebody playing it like out in their car or on their boat, or if somebody, my son will come across somebody in like Australia that's heard all of our stuff thanks to like you guys and Rock Rage and Curtain Call. It's like, man, Divided Truth, I know those guys are they're on the charts out here in Australia, and we are. Right. And that's rewarding, but you definitely have to love it. Long story short.
Yeah. Let's peel back the curtain for the folks at home.
All right.
Daniel Eck from Spotify says that it barely takes any money to make a record these days. And I guess that's why his platform is screwing artists these days and only paying them pennies upon the pennies. And
man, yeah. You know what? You said I can't cuss on here, so F that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
F that
my
guy.
sentiments exactly.
And it's so hard, man. You can't, and I don't want to sound like one of them old codger guys, right? Because you can really go back, and not even that many years. You can go back like 10, 15 years, and in the grand scheme of things, that's not very long time ago. To where if you were at the level like we were for like in Divided Truth, and you can actually go out and go make a good living out on the road and sell your records and sell your CDs and do interviews like this and do constant promotion and work real hard, and you can actually make a really good living out on the road. And that's how you would make it. These days, you don't get anything really from the record sales, and you don't, gas prices are freaking astronomical. You see that big guys are even canceling tours, and just relying more on the festivals, to kind of play the big shows. It's hard. It's hard out there. I mean, and that's why you'll see guys like us, and bands at our level, we have to keep jobs. We have to make sure that we got alternate sources of income, and then be picky about where we want to go. And it's not picky as in a sense of what market's good market or not good market, but just the show and the promoter and how much benefit it's going to be, to make sure I'm just not going to go drive to Lake Charles, Louisiana to play for 15 empty chairs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Spotify makes that hard.
Hey, Lake Charles is famous for that. Don't come here and play. You know what I mean? Like, you hit that on the head. You didn't even know it, but you did.
I lived through you somehow, man. I mean, we're something.
We're simpatico, man. All right. So your brand new single is called Cut Out My Heart, being released on Curtain Call Records. Tell us what the song's about.
Well, the song is about just being in and I know it sounds cliche, but just kind of being in that bad relationship, that kind of bad breakup with either with an ex-spouse or a family member or your best friend, or you know what I mean? It's about that separation, and then there's a line in it. It's like I'd cut myself just to just to watch me bleed before I end up back with you. It's something along those lines. And it's really just kind of a more of an FU to, dude, I'm not putting up with it anymore. And it just hurt, just went through some crap and I wrote about it. And that's kind of the gist of it.
Here it is. It's Cut Out My Heart from Divided Truth. It is available everywhere you consume music. Go buy it. Go stream it here on Indie Rage Radio.
That's right.
All right. Very cool. Segment number 2.
The Smasher Pass is pretty cool.
Appreciate that. We played another game called 10 Rounds with Mikey O. But like I played that like the last few interviews. So I was like, we got to go back to Smasher Pass.
There you go.
All right. Let's see. Boy, my handwriting is so bad. All right. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Indie Rage Radio, IndieRageRadio.com. We are back with Jerry from Divided Truth, their hard rock band from Jacksonville, Florida, on Curtain Call Records. Jerry, where can everybody find your band on the internet?
You can find us at all you got to do is search Divided Truth Official, and it's going to take you to everything that we have, everything from Twitter to Instagram to TikTok to Facebook. We're www.dividedtruthofficial.com. We're, of course, we just talk about Spotify, but across all the streaming platforms, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music. It just goes on. We're everywhere you can be. We're there.
Definitely go find them, go like them, subscribe, all that good stuff. Purchase their music, purchase some merch, help support this.
That's right.
And
That's
so
right.
I was looking at your EPK earlier, and you guys formed back in 2019.
Right.
And usually bands that are formed in 2019, they got slapped with the pandemic, but
Yep.
you guys are in Florida, and Florida didn't shut down for the pandemic. Were you guys still touring and going to shows in 2019?
Yeah,
2020?
actually we were, and that's when we got signed with.
Nice.
We did a show with a Curtain Call band at the time, and their representatives were there, and they're like, "Hey, you guys, we want to talk to you guys," and they ended up signing us right there within that week afterwards. But that show did it. But yeah, we got through the pandemic okay. We went in on 2019, hit the studio and recorded that. I think it's a 6-song EP, our first one. We had at Martell Studios. We had to sneak up into Georgia actually to go do it. But fortunately his studio is like in a private location, so it worked out really well. But yeah, we played a bunch of shows just in Florida like this. Orlando had us down a lot. Over in Tallahassee had us. We played stuff in Gainesville, and Jacksonville just ate it up. We had a ton of shows here in Jacksonville, and we're bringing all these bands in from out of town. It was pretty awesome. I mean, there were limitations. I mean, we weren't completely ignoring COVID the way that everyone believes, but we definitely took a different approach, it seemed like, than the rest of the country that I'm grateful for. And because we probably wouldn't have made it. If we were in another state, we would have been like, oh, okay, this is just a waste of time and effort and money. But all the Florida bands, not just us, really, really thrived in COVID. And in fact, we did through that area, and because of that, that's how we ended up playing like Rockville. Is because they heard a couple of those songs, and that streaming got really, really big. And once we figured out that streaming was big, then we were doing like live streaming shows and getting in like with Danny Wimmer. Danny Wimmer Presents had it's called Space Zebra, and it's kind of like a battle of the bands, but it was just set up different. It wasn't like cutthroat bad, just all these bands were just doing their thing, and it was so cool to see how they were all adapting from all the way around the country. Anyway, long story short, because we ended up getting so tight and so show ready, they ended up, us and probably like another maybe 6 or 7 other Florida bands ended up playing Welcome to Rockville that year, just because we gained that big of a following through the pandemic. And actually, we could probably say we're probably one of the few bands in the country that actually worked to our benefit, because of COVID.
Yeah, most definitely. And you supported some pretty big acts along the way. Tommy Vexed, Head PE, Butcher Babies. How's that experience been?
Man, I could tell you, it's been fun because we did that right out of the gate. we're long times. Like everybody in our band we're pretty long time veterans of the music. You know, we've been doing this for years, and and we get really good relationship with the other promoters here in Jacksonville, and everybody, of course, was coming here. But yeah, we ended up going up to Jordan's with Tommy Vex, and that was a really fun show at a freaking beautiful venue up there. Went up to Metal in the Mountains. Then when that was going on, that's where we seen like the Butcher Babies, and they came down here. Head PE, we did that a couple times with them, and who else did we do? It was quite a few, and of course, Rockville. What's funny about Rockville is they slated us. Like Metallica started their set right on a big massive stage, and then we started playing probably maybe 5 minutes before their set was over, and so we cut around and say Metallica opened up for us.
Nice. Nice.
But it was awesome to be warming up, but I was warming up singing the Metallica songs that I was watching from on top of our stage, and watching them on theirs. So I get like the best view of the house. And it was so cool, man. We met so many cool people, just along the way, especially up in West Virginia when we did Metal in the Mountains. That was very cool. We did a Central Florida Metal Fest down here, and that was with a lot of guys like Upon a Burning Body and Drowning Pool was there. They headlined that, and then they also had a couple of more regional kind of bands that played that show as well. But yeah, we met so many people, man. I wish I could think about it off the top of my head. Of course, I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, it's been a crazy journey for as short a time as we were a band. That we've been a band. We've done some really cool stuff. Oh shit, we did Quiet Riot down at Cocoa Beach with and that's one that John and Gigi were heavily involved with promoting. Like, and of course that's where they live now. It's killer. It was like one of the best shows we've ever done, and that's including counting Rockville. They get that it's a whole outdoor stage, and it was just absolutely packed, and the crowd loved us. It was so much fun. And then you get to see a legend like Rudy Sarzo backstage, like just jamming out to you. That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah. And speaking of performing for big crowds, look, I told you before we started, when I was listening to all your tracks, this song right here, dude, it made me like, how when you hear a song that is just straight gas, like you get that face like you just smelt something bad and you bite your lip a little bit. And I sat straight up in my chair and I was like, oh, this is the jam right here. I'm sure this one is a crowd favorite. Let's talk about the song 4 Years. What's this one about?
So 4 Years is funny because that's the song that we streamed live and got us through all the Danny Wimmers present, like the Battle of the Bands. This song literally grabbed us by the back of our necks and said, no, you guys are about to do something. And it literally did. And it took us right to really cool places. It's just 4 years is just, about being like kind of depression and like that mental health. I got a friend of mine that's really goes through it. And he's actually, he's one of my sponsors, Authentic Mosh Apparel. And so it was kind of written more about him, just because he just had a rough time. And then he started, Authentic Mosh Apparel. So I got inspired by that and ended up writing that song. But man, I absolutely hated that song when we first wrote it. And because and you'll hear it in a second, everybody, the vocals, I did it really low key instead of like that first verse when it comes out and just punches you. It was like just more kind of a low key, kind of a verb. I just could not stand it. And I changed it last second in the vocal booth. I said, I'm doing it like this. And I couldn't see anybody's face or what they even thought of it. And when we changed it, and I just felt like that bass line that Zach does, right in the beginning, I think it just deserves something powerful. Yeah. So I reached down and grabbed it.
Nice. Here it is. It's 4 Years from Divided Truth on Indie Rage Radio. All right. Very cool. Segment 3, we're going to talk a little bit about Jacksonville.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Indie Rage Radio, IndieRageRadio.com, kicking off hour number 2 with Jerry from the Jacksonville, Florida hard rock band Divided Truth. Look, later this hour, we're going to end the show out with a song, and we're going to play an unreleased version of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably going to get in trouble, but I gave it to you anyway.
I can't wait. So stick around to the end of the show to hear an unreleased version of one of their songs. So let's talk a little bit about Jacksonville. So they don't have the Delta miles. They're hopping on a Spirit because they got duped. They thought it was cheap, but then they spent way more than they would have paid on Delta or United.
Right.
Oh, they got them. So they're coming down. They're coming down to Jacksonville for a weekend.
Just
Number one.
weekend. Okay.
Yeah, they're hungry. What's the best restaurant? What restaurant should they stop and eat at?
Man, I would say the Crawford Chop House. It is so good. They got to make a reservation in advance, but it's probably one of the best steaks you'll ever have. It's called the Calford Chop House, not Crawford. That's what used to be the name of Jacksonville, was Calford back in the day. Yeah, because it was the most shallow part and the skinniest part of the St. Johns River, and that's where they would cross the cows. So they called it Calford.
Okay.
But yeah, that's exactly where they need to go. They need to go eat at a Calford Chop House. It's 100% all local produce and Agnes beef and everything else that they got. It's extremely good, and it's so like Ruth Chris don't have anything on it.
Hey, that was started in New Orleans, by the way. Did you know that?
Ruth Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, farm to table. I love farm to table restaurants. Yeah. So good. Do they have the what's it called? The Kobe beef there? Is that the
what beef?
Is it Kobe beef? It's like it's like the Japanese cows that are like really fatty.
No. They got no, they're actually getting grown here. Actually, Florida is one of the biggest, other than Texas, is actually one of the biggest cattle producing states in the union, like in the entire country. Yeah, we got more cattle ranches here than any other state other than Texas.
I never would have thought I
didn't know that either until here recently. But yeah, that's actually the truth. And it was really good. We got really good farmers that do a real good job. The grass is always moist here, because we get so much rain and so much humidity, like you guys do. So yeah, they're fat. They're fat on their own, but no, I don't think they import anything like that.
God bless them. But what's your favorite steak cut?
Man, I'm a sucker, man, for the bone-in ribeye. It's just what I like. I just, didn't grow up with a lot, but to me that was like fancy when I was coming as a kid. Mm-hmm. My dad's like, "We're having ribeyes tonight." I'm like, "Oh, Dad!" Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, the fat content on a ribeye is perfect.
Yes, I think so too. And they're easy to cook, and they got that one piece of meat on the outside, on the outside of that bone. It's just as tender as it can get because it's got a little bit more fat in it. Yeah. That's my favorite cut. Fortunately, it's my wife's favorite cut too. So I don't only got to buy one steak.
And as yummy as the filet mignon is, there's just not enough of it. It's always too small.
You're absolutely right. And it's just a little bit too lean, I think, for me. I just think probably just growing up on a ribeye, I think that I expect that to be in there. But yeah, I don't know, man. The tomahawk steaks are pretty good too, but I'm not all about a ribeye.
All right. So they went to Calford. They got themselves a huge 22-ounce porterhouse.
Yeah.
They're ready to catch a rockin' show. What rock club should they go to in Jacksonville?
Right around the corner, literally.
They can walk there.
Maybe. Huh?
They can walk there. They can walk off that porterhouse.
They can literally walk there. You come out, you eat, you got your 20 ounce in your belly already, and you're going to walk probably about 200 feet down the road to a place called Underbelly. And it is one of the premier venues here in Jacksonville, Florida. It's an amazing place to play. It has amazing sound. They also have extremely good barbecue there. They have a big smoker out back, and they'll a great brisket sandwich. So if you didn't get off your flight in time to get to Calford, don't worry about it, because you can get to Underbelly and have probably one of the best brisket sandwiches you'll ever have in your life, and watch whatever band is playing there from whatever genre is there. It's going to be a killer show. The place is just set up right for it. It's in one of the old brick buildings downtown Jacksonville, and it's got that wood, that wood plank ceiling with the rafters that are going like this all the way around. Dude, the sound is incredible, and the stage is huge, and it just feels old even though it's not. It's a killer place to play. It's one of my favorite places to play. We did one of my favorite shows we did was for my friend. At the time, it was a tribute to Nolan Neal. Do you know who Nolan Neal is? Mm-hmm. He was on he was on The Voice. He did a Tiny Dancer, but he was also like the second vocalist for Hinder for a while. and he ended up passing away. But we did this massive tribute for him, and it was a lot of us were there, like the Bobby from Saliva, which he's a Jacksonville boy, and just a ton of us were there. We did an acoustic show, me and Chuck did, and we did Divided Truth songs, like all acoustic, and it sounded so good. Just in that place, the whole night was incredible. But yeah, that's the place. Get done eating, go to Underbelly. You know, just check it out. If Underbelly's closed, then you got to go across the St. Johns River. It's maybe 2 miles away to Jackrabbits, and that's my home base. That's where I've been playing, you know, live and with Divided Truth and another band I was in called New Day, and since 2009, and just incredible, small, little, cool, kind of a CBGB kind of a venue.
Yeah,
it's with awesome sound. They've been around for a long time. It's the oldest live music venue in North Florida, and Tim Hall does an extremely good job of booking just awesome acts there. Everybody's played there. Shoot, I played with a Non-Point there. I played with Head PE I played with there once, and just a ton of bands like Boba Flex when they were running down here. Flotsam and Jetsam. They just Prong, all those guys, and kind of some old bands, but also like old country artists too. Like Brantley Gilbert used to play there all the time, and it's not even a big stage, maybe a 250 person venue. Doesn't take a lot to pack it out, but it's just awesome. It's just that old vibe. It's cool. But definitely if you can get there. And if you don't have anything else to do on Sunday, then ride down to the beach. The beach is kind of cool. Or if you want to get down to St. Augustine, it's only about 45 minutes down the way. And St. Augustine is definitely a vibe.
So they got their steak. They called a great show. It's nighttime. What part of Jacksonville should they avoid?
Do you not want to? Okay. You ever seen the Cat Williams special when they start talking about all the hoods in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
So that's all up on just north of downtown. Yeah, don't get caught up there. Don't get caught up on the immediate northeast side. And unfortunately, that's kind of down by the stadium where the Jaguars play, just a little bit north of that. They're really doing a good job of cleaning it all up, you know, as far as helping people, because there's like a lot of elderly people there, you know what I mean? Because they've been there for generations. Yeah. And so now they're getting there, and they're really helping them out. They're coming up with a lot of cool programs. The Jacksonville Jaguars just came up with a cool program to try to help renovate that part of town and to give them a little more pride in it. They've done a good job. Long story short, but right now, stay out of anything that sounds like an apartment complex. It sounds like it might be a vacation spot, like Eureka Gardens or something like that. Don't go there. There's no Eureka, and damn sure ain't no garden.
Either that or take a compass with you and do not head northeast.
Yeah, no, don't go northeast. Do not go northeast. You know, because go straight east. Go ahead and get to the beach, or go get south, because that's really cool parts of town are.
Speaking of the Jaguars, Tony Khan owns AEW Wrestling. Have you been to see any AEW shows at Daly's Place? Yeah, it was, again, during the pandemic, he was doing them all at Daly's Place, which is another great venue. He was stayed there, and everybody was there. I mean, you could see wrestlers walking around town. It would be nothing to see Chris Jericho running around, and nice. His bass player from Fozzy, and also, as a matter of fact, with Trickster. I did an acoustic show with Trickster last year, just me solo by myself. And PJ came up to me. He's like, "Hey, Jerry, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Man, you're PJ from Fozzy." He goes, "Yeah, I was in Trickster. I founded Trickster." I was like, I didn't know. He goes, "Well, I know who you are." And I'm like, "Well, shit, man." Sorry, I didn't mean it. That's all good.
I went this whole time without it.
All right.
Yeah,
so
it's cool.
So this next song we're going to play, it's called Damage. What's this song about?
A friend of mine was going through, my best friend, and he's a brother to me. So, you know, you got them brothers they're not your blood, but they're your brother. And, man, he went through a really, really awful, a really bad 2-month marriage that lasted all about 2 months. And he just got really bad. And it's really just more of an uplifting song to let him know, hey, man, that's not your burden. Quit carrying it, you know. Bury the undeserving, detach from the chains, because it literally, I was watching this divorce just literally drag this awesome guy. I mean, he was a Golden Gloves boxer. He was a junior Olympic medalist, you know, and in boxing, just a just one of those guys that are like man among men, you know, and he, I just never seen him broke down like that before. And that was kind of like my conversation with him, you know, over the 6 months. And I was just taking lines from our conversation one night and I put it down. And it's really just a song about overcoming, man. And keeping that faith and remembering who you are. And don't let anybody ever tell you that you're nothing, especially when you're a giant. You know what I mean? Especially when you're somebody. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not worth a crap, you know, because usually people that tell you that, then themselves aren't. And they're just trying to use whatever they can do to cover themselves up. But that's what the song is about. It's about overcoming and, you know, about a brotherhood and picking people up.
Here it is. It's Damage from Divided Truth on Indie Rage Radio. All right, very cool. Last segment 4. It's kind of like we're up against the clock. We're running out of time, I think, because it's like the very last song that we play. Well, in our 54-minute version of the show.
Right.
So it ends the show essentially.
Okay. Cool.
Segment 4 in 3, 2, 1. Indie Rage Radio, IndieRageRadio.com. Sadly, it is that time again. The show has to come to an end, folks. We are back one last time with Jerry from Divided Truth. They're a hard rock band from Jacksonville, Florida. Their brand new single, Cut Out My Heart, is out on every streaming and purchasing platform. Go out, support this band. Google Divided Truth Official. Follow them on your social platforms. Buy some merch. Go out and support this band. So, Jerry, we got to ask, what does the future hold? What does it look like for Divided Truth?
What does it hold for Divided Truth? Well, we're getting right back into playing and writing. We've been playing a lot of shows just based on the songs that we have. So right now we're definitely focusing on writing and getting more material to get out, just so that our sets aren't always so the same thing over and over again. But yeah, I definitely want to get out. I know that next year they're talking about trying to send us out to Sturgis. They're trying to get us on more festivals, and that's really what I'm looking forward to doing. But it's just writing, man, and getting back with the guys. I was in a pretty good accident back in January and broke my lower back, and so we just did our first show since that last month with my brother-in-law's band called Zug. It was pretty cool, kind of an old school rock band. And then we're playing again with at Kona. You ever heard of Kona Skate Park?
No.
It's like the oldest skate park. It's on Tony Hawk Live, the game, and everything else. It's like the oldest skate park in the country. And they built a venue at this place, and it's actually very freaking cool. Like national acts are coming here, and it's like a very big stage. But we're playing there. We got a big show with a band called Kabuki Nutshot. I don't know if you got to bleep that out or not, but
yes. No, we don't have to bleep that out.
But the singer is actually the tour manager for Post Malone, and all those dudes are such great musicians. They're basically Jacksonville legends. Like they've been around for like forever. A band called Sacagawea and Ringworm and just so many other bands. Just good, solid guys. And they're kind of punk. They're kind of a hardcore kind of metal / punk band. Yeah. But they're a lot of fun to play with. Super cool guys. And that venue is extremely cool. And I'm gonna tell you something else about Kona is that I see these kids, and I say kids, I'm talking because it's an all ages show. And so the parents, it's still a place where parents will still go drop their kid off, and they know it's been the same family that's owned this venue for years. I mean, I'm talking like 30, 40 years. It's been in this one family's owned it. And they have that good of a reputation. And you bring these rock shows in, and the energy that these kids have, man, because you know how it is at metal shows. You get, the kind of the later 20s, 30s, and everyone just kind of does their thing and slams into each other enough. But these freaking kids, man, they go hard. They go hard. I'm like, dang, I'm nervous on stage watching these other kids. And I'm like, oh, dude, you okay? But it's so much fun. It's probably one of the most fun venues that I've ever played. It's so cool.
Right on. You're like pointing out to security, do not let that kid come up on stage.
Yeah, dude, I've grabbed kids, like younger kids, because they'll be like right up front. I grabbed them and pulled them up there with me. I'm like, you need to come up here and stand over there. I know it's safe right there.
I just saved your life.
That's right. But yeah, it's shows like that I want to get back out and branch back out and to get down and see John and Gigi in Cocoa Beach, because there's a new venue that's just opened up down there. And Orlando has a bunch of venues that are really thriving. And then out in Tallahassee, I know I brought them up a couple of times, a place called The Legacy, who's actually owned by the bass player for a band called Tragic. And they, it's an awesome venue. It's so cool. It's like right on the river, and like Struggle Jennings and Non-Point Cole just played there. Just a very, very cool venue out in that area. And of course, getting back up in Savannah, kind of doing some more regional stuff to get back out. And now that I'm healing up good.
Most definitely. Well, that's good news, man.
Yeah.
Glad to hear you healing up. Like, so this next song, we teased it at the beginning of the hour. It is an unreleased version. Never heard before. I guess,
yeah, man.
Besides you and the band and maybe your wives and stuff like that. Wannabe.
Yeah. Wannabe, dude. It's so they flew us up to New York. I was talking to John on the phone one day, and he's just like, Jerry, you know, you guys are from Jacksonville. You have that Southern sound. Just talking to you, you got that twang in your voice. And he goes, how come you haven't written anything that's kind of more along that line? I'm like, oh, I have, John, and you actually have it. And he's just like, and so and he listened to it. He's like, holy cow, dude. And he's like, this is almost there. And he sent it up to Pat Gasparini up in New York, and he's like, yeah, I could work with that. Send him up. So we ended up flying to New York, and Pat produced it, and it just sounds good. We have a released version on the first EP of it, but we didn't actually release it as a single. It's just on the EP, and it's so good, man. It's a true story. It's based on me and my wife went to, and I hate guys that sit there and tell fight stories, but I mean, it just is what it is. And that's what it was, is a couple guys with biker jackets, you know, they thought they were Sons of Anarchy or whatever, and came up, and I'm looking like a straight dork. Like, I just got to mow my yard. I got the Bermuda shirt on and some khaki pants, flip-flops, my hat's on backwards, and I just popped open, of all beers that I never drink, a freaking Heineken, of all things. I just 2 sips out of it, and this guy comes up and pulls a knife on me. And I'm like, and I just kind of, I mean, and I'm from the west side of Jacksonville. I've been in my fair share of, I know how to take care of myself. And he just pulled a knife. He goes, man, I'll cut you right now if you don't quit looking at me. And I just put my beard down and smiled. And I'm like, man, are you sure? Are you sure that's what you want to do? Long story short, the whole song is about how that night went. And just like word for word, it's like there's not a false statement in it. And it was a lot of fun. My wife's like, how did you fight those 3 guys that never lost a flip-flop? I was like, 'cause I'm fast as all get out, boy.
Man,
I don't lose my flip-flops.
I wish there was some video of that. You remember when I think it was Mike Valley, like beat up those like 4 dudes that were like, they were picking on him because he was a skater, and then he was like, well, come get it. And they all 4 jumped on him at once. He beat them all up.
Yeah.
We need, man, I wish somebody was videoing that.
Yeah, you know what, man? It's you mess with guys. I'm not a big guy. People call me a big little guy because I'm 5'7", like 200 pounds. And I'm Irish built, dude. I'm just stocky, and grew up where I grew up, and I'm extremely nice to everybody, but I will match your energy, and that's just the kind of person that I am. And it was funny. My wife's just like, it was like a scene in Roadhouse. All I would see is you bouncing around everywhere, and somebody's hair goes flying this way, and another guy went flying that way. And then I wouldn't see you again for a couple minutes, so I thought you were in trouble. And then the bouncers had you, and wasn't even messing with you 3 other guys. And I was really, honestly, I was just scared to death, and I wasn't even fighting to win. I was just trying to not get stabbed.
Right, fighting for your life.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, man. But that's what it's about, man. It's such a cool song. John dug it. It's one I know we want to release, but it's going to take a lot more money to release it. You know, thank you, Spotify, for getting that one wrong. It took a lot of money to go record it, and it's going to take a lot of money to cut the video on it, because I just don't want to do a low budget kind of a video for it. I want it to be grandiose, and that's going to be the big one that I want it to really push kind of 2025 with. And because I want to see that one get released in January. It's kind of what I'm pushing for.
Well, here it is. It's an unreleased version of Wannabe. He is Jerry. I am Mikey O. We are out of here. See you when we see you. Here's Divided Truth, Wannabe. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time, dude.
No, man. Thanks so much for having me. It was very
brother.
cool.
Before you leave, can I get a drop from you?
Yeah.
Can you say, this is Jerry from Divided Truth, and you're listening to Indie Rage Radio?
Yep. This is Jerry from Divided Truth, and you listen to Indie Rage Radio. Okay.
Yep. Whenever you're ready.
Hey, everybody. This is Jerry with Divided Truth, and you are listening to Indie Rage Radio.
Awesome, dude. All right, man. Well, hey, look, keep up the hard work, bro. You guys are doing great things.
Too.
You guys have an amazing sound. And
Thank you.
I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do on the road, man.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out there.
Yeah, bro. All right, man.
I appreciate it.
Take it easy.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah, dude. I'll be tagging you guys on social media, so you'll know when it's coming out.
Cool. I'll be reciprocating that for you.
Hey,
I appreciate
that. Thank you.
No, man. Thank you.
All right, Jerry. Have a good one.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this. I could tell you now. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem, dude.
All right, bud.
Bye-bye.